local all morning. The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
Breaking overnight, a powerful earthquake devastating parts of the Middle East. The death toll rising and the search for survivors this morning.
Also, could more tax relief be on the horizon? We'll have a preview of the governor's proposal that's expected to be released today.
And the suspect search is on after several workers at a Frito-Lay distribution center robbed at gunpoint. What we know so far this morning.
And people in Hartford speaking up about their flooding frustrations. We'll share whom they're meeting with and their message.
Good morning. Thanks so much for being with us here at Fox 61 this Monday. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning to you. Taking a live look outside from both the Hartford and New Haven cameras here and Mohegan Sun as we're waiting for the sun to come up. It is quiet, certainly a lot warmer than it was at some points over the weekend.
We're back to those mild temperatures.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable future again.
I feel like a broken record here.
Yeah.
We had a brief little,
Cold snap.
taste of winter, and
here we are.
And then spring went. I don't think so. And so temperatures are once again running well above normal. Good to have you along on this Monday. It is a full moon, technically a full snow moon. Except back to a mild winter, well above normal temperatures, and we have some precip into 7-day. It is wet. It is not white. 28 in Hartford is not bad. 27 in New Haven, 30 in Groton and New Milford and Bridgeport, with really nothing to worry about out there today. We start mostly clear. We're going to add some clouds in the afternoon, but look at these numbers. I could say it's just wacky, but we're used to this by now. It's normal wacky. Whatever that means. Upper 40s today. We'll clear out the skies tonight, get still mild temperatures. We'll show you how long that's going to last coming up in the 7-day. We finally found our winter jackets, Lauren, and then now we're putting them right back. We'll tell you if you need them again coming up.
I've learned the hard way. One time I put all my sweaters and stuff away, and then I ended up needing them again. So here we go. I'm leaving them in the closet.
It's like buying a snowblower at the beginning of the season. You've just jinxed yourself to not use it.
Yeah, thinking it'll get the best use. You're ready to use it, and then there's nothing.
Right.
I'm not really complaining. I'd rather have nothing than too much. Good morning, everyone. We are following a couple of crashes out there on the roadways. Let's bring you into the Hartford area. There is a crash on I-91 on the southbound side between exits 29A and 27 as of right now. They are saying that the left lane is closed, but the DOT website is reporting that the right lane is closed, but it doesn't seem to be causing too much of an impact for the morning commute as of right now. In the rest of the Hartford area, 91 coming into the capital city, not looking too bad. 84 is looking great this morning. Route 2 moving smooth as we take a live look out on 91 north and southbound. Things are looking good out there. Waterbury drive times 84 east and westbound coming in and out of the Mixmaster looking great. Route 8 moving smoothly. Down in Fairfield County, we did have a crash over in Norwalk on the northbound side of I-95. That just wrapped up just a couple of minutes ago. Those delays really starting to ramp up in that Bridgeport to Fairfield area. We'll check in again on the roads coming up at 6:30. For now, Tim, I'll send things over to you.
Lauren, thank you. Developing now in South Windsor, police are still looking for whoever robbed employees at the Frito-Lay distribution center. This happened at the building on South Nutmeg Road last night just after 5:30. Police said the robber walked in, showed a gun, and forced members of the cleaning crew to the ground before taking their jewelry and cash. Police said nobody was hurt, and at this point we don't have a description of the robber.
Happening today, Governor Ned Lamont is going to announce his latest proposal in a series of tax relief measures for families.
Now, Fox 61's Brooke Herfin is live outside the state capitol with a breakdown on what this could mean for you. Brooke, good morning.
Good morning to you both. The governor has said since day one he wants to provide tax relief to those who are low income and also middle class families as well. Now, this is a series of legislation that tackles both of those in a few different parts. Now, over the course of the last few weeks, the governor has announced legislative proposals that all wrap into one large topic, and that's providing some tax relief for those with low income. In January, Lamont announced legislation that hits on bringing the pass-through entity tax to its original level, which would help small business owners save some money. His latest announcement brought ideas to help with tax relief. Lamont is asking for the Earned Income Tax Credit, also known as the EITC, to go from 30.5% to 40% of the federal level. Families can receive this credit even if they don't pay state income tax. This breaks down to an additional $45 million per year, split between 211,000 households. Hartford Mayor Luke Bronin says these legislation proposals will change lives.
Those resources that are coming back into a community are going to lift up families. They're going to lift up two-parent families, and they're going to lift up single moms, the lieutenant governor said, and they're going to lift up those kids. In this community and in communities across our state, this will make a difference to hundreds of thousands of residents.
And again, those few pieces of legislation are just the start of it. We are expected to hear the next piece of legislation later today from Governor Ned Lamont. That is something that we will bring to you, of course, this evening. And he is going to provide that budget proposal on Wednesday. That is something we will be bringing to you as well. Live in Hartford, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61 News.
Brooke, thank you for that report.
All right, 6:06 and happening today. Hartford residents affected by flooding and sewage issues can voice their concerns at a listening session with Environmental Protection Agency and U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal.
And Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro is here with us in the studio with more now about how people in the North End are hoping for more action. Good morning.
Tim, Erica, good morning. Yeah, this meeting scheduled for tonight is just the latest chapter in this ongoing call for action by neighbors on those flooding and sewage issues they call persistent and devastating. Take a look at this. Now, this comes after a scheduled visit that was planned last month by EPA reps that community organizers say was, quote, abruptly circumvented. Longtime residents in North Hartford say flooding and sewage issues have been ongoing for years without a fix, and they feel ignored by city and state officials. Ignored to the point that they actually reached out to the EPA about this. Now, we report on these flooding issues in the capital city every year. Take a look. Fox 61 capturing neighbors needing to be rescued from their own homes in Blue Hills. Organizers say the goal of tonight's meeting is to allow residents and businesses to lay out their frustrations and plot a course forward.
But definitely fixing the issues immediately in the northern Hartford, because these tropical storms are starting to come like in the spring and in the summer. So there needs to be some a start date for this. And then for the people who've lost, they need to be made whole.
Now, last month, the city's water company, MDC, told us that part of the fix here is to separate the now combined stormwater and sewer pipes. Officials say there are wastewater infrastructure plans in place through what's called the Clean Water Project, but they add that is only one part of the solution, and they are working with the city, state, and feds to do even more. Now, tonight's meeting, that will take place from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the American Legion Post on Main Street. Guys, I will send it back to you.
All right, Angelo, thanks so much. Well, happening today in New Britain, lawmakers are expected to talk about a grant to help improve state roads. Senator Richard Blumenthal and New Britain Mayor Aaron Stewart are expected to announce $958,000 in federal funding to do just that. The senator's office says it'll be available for the Capital Region Council of Governments to then develop a plan to use those funds. It's part of the bipartisan infrastructure law's Safe Streets and Roads for All program. And happening today in Hartford, a rally to support gun laws and protect domestic violence survivors. Now, the rally is in response to a decision by a federal appeals court that says the government cannot stop people who have domestic violence restraining orders against them from owning guns. Attorney General William Tong is expected at the rally. It's expected to start at 12:30 right outside his office on Capitol Avenue.
More than $82,000 has been raised to help a family farm that was devastated by a fire in Prospect. That fire destroyed a barn late Friday night. Around 60 animals inside died. The fire chief said crews couldn't rescue any of them because the flames and heat were too intense. And the family farm there has a long history of serving its community through nonprofit work, and at least we're happy to report the community is now returning the favor.
I've lived here my whole life. My grandparents lived in the house next to us, so it's over 150 years that this is our homestead.
Still no word yet on what caused that fire.